every time. This is about the third and fourth time. Attorney called me. Nigga, you know I'm gonna get the content and put you on blast.
Thank you. I got you on the landline.
All right.
It tends to work better for me.
Now, me and Spider Loc sat down with Loose Cannon's brother, and he basically disproved a lot of the lies that Wack has been telling. So now Wack is getting at Loose Cannon on behalf of.
As I said, I'm going to record this call just so that I have accurate notes of what you say, and then I don't have to stop it.
No problem.
All right. So what the government is claiming, this is from an FBI affidavit that was filed in court. They say that the statements that Luce made about Henley and Grid and all that stuff and getting 40,000 and giving 20 of it back was of a robbery.
This is fake. This is not a real phone call from a real lawyer. Henley robbed this guy Monster, who was running a drug dispensary, and then gave him part of it back. And they claim that that's what this conversation was all about.
Well, the thing about it is this. This was a conversation that Loose Cannon was having because he said a bunch of things. I think it was something in the ballpark of just collecting guns or passing out guns and writing down serial numbers. That's the Grid program side of it.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely not a conversation between Wack and a real lawyer. This is one of the dudes on Clubhouse. I've heard this voice before, and Wack is just having him pretend to be a lawyer.
What did you understand Luce to be talking about?
Well, that part he was saying that he saw Big U passing out guns to his homeboys, and but he was writing out serial numbers off the guns. That's what he's saying he saw, which that's some crazy shit. But I do know the Grid program because we're the one broke the story of Big U being part of the Grid program, which says you turn in guns, detailed hot spots in the neighborhood, gang-related situations, so on and so forth. So everything else Luce was talking about, you got to remember, Loose Cannon is known. We bring him on shows, he's going to lie. We don't bring shows because he's telling the truth. We bring him on shows to hear the lies he's going to tell. That's like a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. But I just want to know what you understood him to be talking about. Because I
heard what everybody else heard. He was telling the story of an incident that happened, and he said something like that they left with one amount of money, and they was asked to give up some of the amount of money, and dude gave it back to somebody. I mean, but like I said, bro, like Loose Cannon is known. Like you hire a comedian to come make you laugh, we bring him on platforms expecting 1 million lies. So we don't, we listen to him, and we'll help him keep the lie going because it's just content. It's YouTube, bro.
Well, whether it was what I understand him to be talking about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Henley was scamming the city by going out and picking up guns from gang members that he could turn in for money, and then he was giving half the money back to the gang members who gave him the guns. So
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother thing because I thought he mentioned somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I wouldn't know if Big U. I wouldn't know if Big U got paid for guns. We know he was in the party of things. So, I don't know because I thought he said he watched them write down the serial numbers and pass them out. So if he's passing out the guns, then that means he doesn't have them to turn in to the city. So that doesn't make. But again, this is Loose Cannon. Like, dude just says shit. Like, think about it. If he's writing down serial numbers and passing them out, that paints the picture that he's keeping the serial numbers to turn into law enforcement. So when this gun is used, law enforcement knows who had the gun. That's what we heard. Now you're saying he collected the guns.
Now, why is Wack interrogating a lawyer? How does this make sense to where WACK100 is now interrogating a lawyer? Chad, I appreciate y'all for being with me on a Saturday morning. We're going to get into the Drake of the Ruler stuff after this, but I thought that this was interesting because whose lawyer would sit around and be interrogated by WACK100? So what you're saying is, and all this kind of stuff, he's doing too much to get the content. That's how you know it's fake. He's over-explaining. You have the person over-explaining. He's trying too hard to create a picture instead of letting it flow naturally, like a client conversation would be with a lawyer, or like somebody, conversation would be with a lawyer. Instead of letting that shit go regular, Wack is so what you're saying is, so why would I know that? So what you're telling me is blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. No real lawyer would even let you talk to him like that, especially regarding their client. And then why would Loose Cannon's lawyer, who's paid by Loose Cannon, be trying to hurt him for Wack? That's stupid.
To go turn them in.
Why would Loose Cannon's lawyer have any allegiance to Wack? And Wack is paying for the lawyer, and even at that case, the person who is the client has the client privilege.
So, I mean, the whole story to us was a hoax. We didn't put no time or thought into it.
What my understanding is, what Lewis was referring to was that Henley got paid by the city for the guns. That was part of his compensation.
What did Lou tell you? Is that what he's telling you?
That's what he said. He was referring to that and the fact that Henley would turn around and give half the money back to the gang members who gave him the guns in the first place. So they got a cut.
So what I'm trying to understand, Loose Cannon is saying Big U would collect the guns out the streets, take it to the grid program, turn it in, get paid, and then come back and give the gang members some of the money.
Yep. Did you understand?
Now here goes my question. Loose has a robbery, a Hobbs robbery. What does that have to do with his robbery?
Bingo. What does that have to do with the robbery? And that's my question.
What does that have to do with the robbery?
Did you understand him to be talking about the ripping off the grid program when he was talking about taking some of the money and giving it back? Henley taking money.
Well, I didn't understand what he was talking about because, again, when he talks, we're not listening for the truth. We're just listening for entertainment. So sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. We're not going to point out what doesn't make sense because we're just going to keep the narrative going and just come to us. So he's saying he was never talking about a robbery. He was talking about guns in the grid program.
Did you think he was talking about a robbery?
Well, maybe. I didn't know what he was talking about either way. But what you probably should go do is listen to the clip and see what he goes in details about. Because whatever he goes in detail about is what they're going to think he's talking about. And again, in the same clip.
Yeah, man, we was in a turtle tank, man. We'll get to that too.
He stated he had a FaceTime call, which we all knew was bullshit, but it was great for content. It pissed Big U off. The world talked about it. It got 1 million views. We didn't care less. Was this FaceTime clip ever produced by
that situation and spoken about again by Loose Cannon's lawyer? None of this makes sense. Why would Loose Cannon be talking to Wack about this? What interest would Loose Cannon's lawyer have in humiliating his own client?
By Loose Cannon? Absolutely not. Did he say every week he was going to produce it? He absolutely did.
You swore to God on Paru that you had it. You swore to God on Paru that you saw it. Not only did you say you had it, you said you saw it on Paru.
So, again, when we're interviewing him, we're not interviewing him to hear the truth. We're just interviewing the dude for a laugh, bro. So he'll be all over the place. So if Loose Cannon said that's what he meant, then I guess that's what he meant.
Hey, Reg, how you feel about the uptick in Bloods lying on the B, man? How you feel about the uptick in Bloods lying and putting stuff on the B on YouTube, man? This is getting crazy out here. It's getting absolutely brazy.
I couldn't tell you one way or another because I have never seen Loose Cannon and Big U or Loose Cannon and Monster or Monster and Big U together in my life. That was the first time I've ever seen Loose Cannon in person was on that interview. So, what a guy's saying, I can't tell him he's lying and telling the truth We
All right,
just,
but
you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
seemed, when he was talking about the grid program and Henley ripping off the grid program, you seemed to understand what he was talking about.
I understand the grid program because we broke the news on the grid program back in 2022, 2023.
And is what Luce is saying about Henley and the grid program accurate?
Well, the thing we understood about the grid program was he has a cell phone that was issued to him by law enforcement to contact them. We just have the grid program contract, what it spells out the things they do. Now, how he does it, if he really does it, we have what he gets paid. He started at $500,000, and it went to $1 million and $1.5 million and like 2.6. How the money comes in and for what reason? It doesn't itemize that. He get a bonus for turning in guns. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I wouldn't know. Now, Loose Cannon claims he knows. He knows. But I think what he's trying to say is, in the segment at No Jumper, he was saying Big U collects the money from the grid, and then the $20,000 that he gave back, right, came from the grid. Now, I'm going to tell you this.
So now you're having a conversation about open crimes with a lawyer and putting them on the internet. Is this snitching? Is this snitching on Big U and Loose Cannon? Do this count as selling? Because this looks like it will fall under the category of open air reporting.
An attorney. Me and you both know the AUSA is going to go off what was said and who was mentioned. That's what you got to, I don't remember him saying he got money back for guns. I don't remember that in that segment. Did you see that in that segment?
Well, I have trouble understanding anything he says.
Because I'm telling you, he's a visual lie. I'm just telling you.
You can't
tell me Loose Cannon's lawyer is on the phone with Wack saying I have a hard time understanding anything he says? You mean to tell me that Loose Cannon's lawyer is on the phone with Wack spilling attorney-client privilege, confidentiality conversation? Come on, fool. Loose Cannon's lawyer is going to throw away his whole career because of Wack for content for club. I know we've seen stupid things like Munchie B saying that he passed the bottle to who unalive Draco the Ruler, but this is just dumb. Nobody can believe this to be true.
Interrupting him. So
this is just, at this point, this is just like listening to a good audiobook.
So it was sort of a little of him, a little bit you, and I wasn't quite sure what story he was telling. But it does sound like it's consistent. He was talking about the grid program.
Them niggas on Clubhouse will do anything for they Wack daddy, they daddy Wack. When I say they do anything, man, them Clubhouse dudes will do anything because this disgusting.
Henley ripping off the grid program. You seem to concur that Henley was getting money that he didn't deserve from the city out of the grid program. And
well, no, I never said he was getting money he didn't deserve because my stance been he's been cooperating with law enforcement. So, that's been my stance, but he deserves.
So now Loose Cannon's lawyer is finna indirectly say Big U's cooperating with law enforcement because somehow, some way it helps Wack's case, despite the fact that Wack is actually named as a victim in Big U's case. That's crazy. That's wild.
Or not, I don't know how well he did his job. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many people he turned in, and if he turned, I couldn't tell you that. I don't know those details. Loose Cannon might, because they hung together. I've never hung with Big U and Loose Cannon at the same time in my life. So I couldn't tell you.
All right. Well,
I couldn't tell you, but I really think you should just go look at the video, and whatever he's saying is what he means.
Yeah, but it's unclear what he's saying.
And again, whose lawyer would ever have these type of conversations, bro? This is super illegal. Like, if this is Loose Cannon's lawyer, this nigga would lose his bar association easy. Like, this is the quickest way to lose your bar. Like, come on, bro, this is dumb.
Well, if it's unclear what he's saying, then that should be the defense. That it's unclear what he's saying. If he's not,
you got Wack telling the lawyer how to defend the case. Now you got Wack telling Loose Cannon's lawyer how to defend the case because Wack knows better than the lawyer. Well, if it's unclear what he's saying, that should be the defense because blah blah blah. Now Wack is giving legal advice to the lawyer. That's what you want us to believe. That's what you want us to believe on a Saturday morning. Come on, fool.
Not saying anything. That's a definite.
Reg, what's going on with the guys, Reg? What's just going on, brother?
Then they shouldn't be able to use it, right?
Yeah, although I'm sort of looking for somebody who understood him and understood what he was talking about to say, yeah, that makes sense. Does that all make sense to you?
Nobody really understands what Loose Cannon is saying. He wakes up in the morning, he hollers, "Sweetie." You know, we don't say, we just say that's just some shit he calls people to disrespect him. So it's just Loose Cannon. He's like a character, bro. Like, we don't never take the time to take him serious. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you. So if he said some shit, like he told me, I just bought a house in Riverside, I'm over here and over here.
But you swore to God on Paru that you seen the house. You swore to God on Paru. Loose Cannon had 3 swimming pools. 3 swimming pools. Y'all remember when Wack said Loose Cannon had 3 swimming pools? And you put that on Paru? Y'all remember that? And then you said that you had been to the house. You said that you had seen the kids in a beautiful family, and you knew everything Loose Cannon had going on. You was a hallucinate. You was a hallucinate. So I'm just trying to figure out.
Complete lie.
You stopped being so elusive.
He told me he just did a $5 million deal. Can you do this paperwork for me? I did all the paperwork for him. Complete lie. So we don't take him serious. And if he said something that has some validity to it, that got the feds' attention, only they would know. We don't know. You know, I don't know what the hell him and Big U had going on. I know he told a story or two. If the stories are authentic or not, I couldn't tell you, brother. I'm just up there to keep the conversation going, whether it's real or not. That's my job. Keep it going, keep them talking.
All right.
I do understand the grid program. Do you want the contracts? I can send you the contracts to the grid program. We understand it from contracts.
We have it. We have it.
Okay, yeah. So that's our way of understanding what the grid program is through those contracts. I've never witnessed Big U actually doing the transactions or none of that. I've never witnessed that. You know what I mean? So I just know that contract, when it comes from where we come from, is a violation of the street code. We put emphasis on he had cell phones that was issued to him by 77th Street.
And now we talk about violations of the street code to a lawyer who probably doesn't even care. Like, how does this make sense? Like, how is anybody telling me this situation makes sense?
You know, task force and shit, and where we come from, that's just a no-no. And Big U was denying these things until we got a hold of the contract and was able to show you, in fact. And
man, Wack is lying, bro. There's no way that he's talking to Loose Cannon's lawyer about this. If he was in fact talking to Loose Cannon's lawyer would be disbarred. Clear, quick, fast, and in a hurry. He would be disbarred. There's no way that they would allow this man to keep a legitimate right to practice law if this is the type of stuff that he was doing. So Wack is just lying.
So we got hold of a video with him with the BlackBerry cell phone. Other than that, I can't tell you what that man was getting paid for or wasn't. I can just tell you what the contract spells out.
Were you aware that he was out there collecting guns?
What say again?
Were you aware that Big U was out there collecting guns?
No, that was Loose Cannon's story. All I was aware of, well, what the grid program spelled out. The grid program spelled out that turning in guns looked like it was kind of one of the requirements or something he was doing. But as far as me saying I witnessed him, I've never witnessed Big U with a goddamn gun, and I've been knowing the man for 18, 19 years. I've been knowing him since 2024, so I've never witnessed Big U with a gun. To say he was out there turning in guns, that's something Loose Cannon said, and again, it seems far-fetched from the guy I knew.
Nah, man, you said that this was some high-tech ish. When Loose Cannon said that, you said, man, this is some high-tech ish. What? And then you continue to allow him to be on no jumper to tell this lie, bro. That's what happened. We seen it. You said this some high-tech ish, and you continue to allow this man to just tell a blatant lie. You feel me?
I don't believe he would turn in a gun. I've never seen him with a gun, but I don't believe he would turn in a gun. But the grid program contract definitely spelled out that this was part of the criteria. Now, whether he did that or not, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Remember, I was been disassociated with him since kind of 2020, mid 2020ish, maybe early 2021. We haven't talked. When Loose Cannon started dealing with Big U, I wasn't around. I've never seen those two men together, never talked to them together. Loose Cannon popped up on my radar 2024 of January to help him promote a show. So I couldn't take.
That's a lie. You said that you knew that Loose Cannon had been dissing you and you knew who he was. You knew that he was a reputable 60 crib. You said that. You said that. You said that, sir. I'm not making it up. That's your words.
You really, what they were doing, what they wasn't doing. But if you want this grid program contract, I can forward it to you.
He already said that he had it.
All of our.
He's already said that he had it. But how does a grid program contract, how does any of this help Loose Cannon? How does any of this conversation that Wack is having with this lawyer help Loose Cannon? Or is it just a slander campaign against Big U? Which would further let me know that this is actually not a conversation with Loose Cannon's lawyer, because nothing legal or nothing about Loose Cannon's case has been discussed in this whole situation. It's just a bunch of gossip, honestly. But if you're looking at the situation in totality, you know, you're looking at it from just a lawyer standpoint. How does this help the client? How does this help the case? How does this help the casework? How does this help build anything? You feel me? Is just this is dumb. This is stupid.
Knowledge of what Big U does with that from the contract.
All right, I'd appreciate that. I will. I'll text you an email address.
Okay, cool.
So this doesn't make sense, because why would the lawyer say that? He's already said that he had the paperwork. The lawyer already said that he had the paperwork. So why would he now need to text you an email address? In the same conversation, his lawyer said that he had the paperwork, that he had Big U's paperwork. So why would he now need to have to send you an email address for you to be able to send him what he already has?
I don't know. Nigga thought he was slick.
Oh yeah, man. You thought you were slick, because this is just something that just doesn't make sense. I mean, Chad, does he think that we're just dumb? Does he think that he's just the smartest person ever? Does Wack think that he can just continue to outsmart us and lie to us and tell us anything? Because the lawyer said, the fake lawyer that is, said that he had the documents already. So if he has the documents already by way of Big U's grid program paperwork, which has no bearings into the Loose Cannon case, so why would Loose Cannon's lawyer care anything about? Why would Loose Cannon's lawyer care anything about Big U being in the grid program? Loose Cannon is being charged with the Mann Act. That's robbery. Big U is being Loose Cannon is being charged with being a part of a setup to Flu Flam and Skulldug and larceny somebody else. Nothing to do with Big U. Why would Loose Cannon's lawyer care about that? That doesn't make sense. Am I the only one who can't find logic in this?
Oh shit.
When he does his stupid laugh, that's his tell that he's lying.
Well, you can concur. I can't concur shit. That nigga said, I don't understand nothing he says either. That's a cold attorney. That nigga Loose.
That's a fake attorney. You're not talking to an attorney, bro. You're lying.
And in a cold.
And only the people on Clubhouse are dumb enough to believe that you're actually having a conversation with an actual attorney. Anybody who believes in real life that you're having an actual attorney-client conversation or a conversation with Loose Cannon's attorney, they deserve whatever idiocy falls upon them. If you believe that he's actually having this is a real conversation between him and Loose Cannon's lawyer, brother, whatever happens to you, you deserve. Because you just don't want to believe the truth, and you're a willing participant in stupidity. And should you be a willing participant in stupidity, I will not. And when I say I will not rob you of your right to be a willing participant in stupidity. You deserve everything. Absolutely everything. You feel me? Everything you get. Hey, Reg, you all right, bro? Said he left the clinic, had some blood work done. You okay, brother? Everything going cool, man? We need you out here.
Nigga, ain't. It's the third time you try to run a play. Hey, bro. I'm glad I'm from the valley, because that inner city LA shit is crazy. Them niggas be running plays over there. He trying to put all the guns on me.
The play is coming from the valley, guy. I'm glad I'm from the valley. I'm not from inner city LA. We're glad that you're from the valley and you're not inner city LA. That way we can forever say valley ninjas are weird. That way we're so glad that you're not from inner city LA and that you're from the valley. That way we make confident statements like ninjas from the valley are weird. Nobody has anything to say about it, because it is a true statement and you are showing us that you are not from inner city LA.
Nigga said, well, do you think he gets the guns? I've never seen him with a gun ever in my life. I don't know what to get. Wrong nigga to try to subpoena, boy. Yo, shit up. This loose
You're already in big use paperwork as a victim.
third attempt. The first one was the video of the murder he was trying to put on Big U.
Yeah, Reg,
He was telling him he can give him information on the murder. The second time was, remember he had told his attorney, they was telling the DA, Big U shot him and his friend, so they did it out of fear, but we recorded that. I don't know why.
There's nothing in the police report about Big U shooting anybody or Big U being accused of shooting anybody. After this, y'all want to get into the YG Draco the Ruler thing, or y'all want to get into Byron Blake suing Wack because Wack's been lying?
He got people still calling me. He got to be halfway slow in.
Clubhouse. All right, man. So we finna get up out here to the next one. It's a lot of flu flammery. It's a lot of larceny. It's a lot of lies going on. But y'all know that we're going to break it all down like a pound. We're going to break it down, baby. Pound, baby. You feel me? We're going to break it down. Pound. We finna get into this Contiano, though, man. Make sure y'all hit that like, that comment, that subscribe button. Let's keep it in rotation. Shout out to Detroit.